John, Dave, I'm so excited for The Mandalorian Season 3. The first season was you had some clone elements in it. Season 2, you had Luke Skywalker show up, and a lot of these secrets of the story seem to be connecting to the rest of the Star Wars universe in some ways. I'd love to hear, by the time you're through with this story, do you think the story told of The Mandalorian is going to add a new perspective to the way and the new lens to the way we look at Star Wars movies that we've seen so far?
Well, let's just look at Dave Filoni's past. Look at how the Clone Wars affect how it sort of weaves within stories that existed before. I think we're always looking to all of Star Wars, and I think that each generation connects with a different aspect of it. I was 10 when the first movie came out, so I have the deepest connection with those characters. But now, dealing with people who are millennials, the prequels are theirs, and Clone Wars for younger Gen Z has Clone Wars, has the sequels, and then there's even the EU for those of us who lived through the moments where there wasn't a lot of Star Wars, and there was Star Wars being generated around games and around books and comics. So we like to pull everybody together, and much like at the conventions, when you go to the conventions, you have people from all different parts of the world dressing up as different characters, all having a ball together. And I think that really captures what my experience has been with the fans. And so we try to just acknowledge and draw in as much as we can, and kind of give acknowledgments to that we're paying attention to everything going on in Star Wars and try to include it in the show.
Oh, I can't wait to see what you do this season, man. You guys keep a lot of secrets, a lot of surprises. There's not an interview every week diving into it and telling us everything about the show. Most franchises, everybody's talking the whole time. You guys have to keep a lid on the surprises too. I had no idea Luke Skywalker was showing up.
Yes.
Why
You're very lucky there.
Hey,
and also,
congrats.
Baby Yoda, right? Grogu's reveal. Those are the two big ones, and those are the two that didn't leak. A lot of stuff does leak, though.
Why is it so important to keep that mystery?
We're trying to recreate what we experienced as kids watching Star Wars. I didn't, when I went into Empire Strikes Back, had any clue what the end of that film was going to reveal. And that was like a mind-blowing moment,
Yoda was Yoda blew my mind, because I was like, who's this guy?
Well, that too, right? The
that
I am
fooled
the father
me.
moment, like all of these things.
Yeah.
And the only place you had to really talk about it was at school the next day or with your brother. You put the record on, listen to it. And now it's like there's such a saturation of information. I'm like, the people have their own communities online. It's great, and they talk about it all the time. But it's really
a balance
for us about the show and the experience of watching the show. And then we talk a little bit about it afterward. But there's no sense in revealing the whole magic trick. And also, you never know when you're developing these things, much as you can plan them out. Something might evolve through the experience of making it. You're like, oh, that's a really good thread. Oh, shoot, we talked about that. No, that doesn't happen. Like, we keep it all very kind of close because it is, evolving in surprising and exciting ways. And then for when you got to see Luke appear, hopefully was an awesome moment for you that you wouldn't have had otherwise. You know,
absolutely was. And I just, as I head out, what
There
can
he
you
is.
tell me about this guy's journey? What's about to happen with this little guy?
He trained quite a bit recently, right, with Luke Skywalker, who, rumor has it, is a very powerful Jedi. So he's probably going to be a different guy than he was 2 years ago when we last saw him on The Mandalorian. We checked in a little bit during Book of Boba Fett just to see what they've been up to. So there's a difference in the relationship. Also, I'm a dad. Kids, he's still little, but he's growing up, and it changes the nature of the relationship between the two of them. And so you're going to see an evolution. I think that relationship, and we've discussed this, is probably the most important central aspect of it, this lone wolf and cub dynamic. And so while you have all these great effects and all these great villains and ships and blasters and lightsabers, it's really about this family story as they develop. So that's what we're keying into a lot. And Din Djarin's different than he was. He was a selfish loner, and now he's a dad. He's trying to figure out how to be a single father. So that informs things as well.
Grogu can change a man. I love it.
Yeah, he can.
Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.